Okay, welcome everyone. Go ahead and call this Tuesday, June 2nd or 7th, 2022 Planning Commission meeting to order. Can we do a roll call vote, please?
Alderperson Denham.
Here.
Vice Chair Stepp.
Here.
Commissioner Romine. Chairperson O'Day.
Here.
Commissioner Richards.
Here.
Commissioner Lloyd. Commissioner Davis.
Here.
Commissioner Groman.
Here.
Commissioner Dieger.
Here.
Commissioner Gore.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the public comment section. To go along with our guidelines and what we've been doing to kind of follow up with how the aldermen do it as well. Public comment shall be taken during which any member of the public may comment on any matter which is not listed on the agenda for public hearing. We've got a time limit set at 5 minutes. Is there anybody from the public that would like to speak tonight? None? Okay, we'll move on to the next item of the agenda, which is the regular agenda. And we need to do the approval of the Planning Commission minutes for the May 3rd, 2022 study session and regular meeting. If I remember correctly, I don't believe we had a study session on May 3rd. That was just a regular, correct, Mike? Or was I sleeping?
You're still going to have to approve it because it was on there.
on
We
the
just
agenda.
didn't do anything with
Okay.
the agenda. There was no action.
Okay, okay,
So moved.
okay.
Second.
Okay, first by Commissioner Stepp, second by Commissioner Groman. Any discussion, comments? Hearing none, take a roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Denham.
Yes.
Vice Chair Stepp.
Yes.
Chairperson O'Day.
Yes.
Commissioner Richards.
Yes.
Commissioner Davis.
Yes.
Commissioner Groman.
Yes.
Commissioner Dieger.
Yes.
And Commissioner Gore.
Yes.
8 votes yea, 0 nay. Motion
you.
moved.
Thank you. All right, moving right along. The next thing, public hearing. First item on the public hearing.
We just approved the study session.
Oh,
right?
you're sorry, I'm sorry. You're correct, Commissioner Groman. Next item on the regular agenda is an amendment to the Planning Commission bylaws to change the meeting time.
No, is the study session, we approved the study session, did we also approve the minutes? Did we do two things at once? Because I got a question on the
Oh, on the minutes?
regular minutes. I
You're
thought
correct.
the study session, and then,
My bad, my bad.
no.
I apologize. Okay, so we'll move on to the regular meeting minutes for the May 3rd, 2022 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, first by Commissioner Stepp, second by Commissioner Groman. Commissioner Groman?
And I have a question on, I abstained. I understand that the abstention vote automatically counts with the majority under our current rules. But our current rules also say that in reporting and recording the vote, you have to give the name of everybody and how they voted. So I believe, I would ask that they be amended to include my name and that I abstained in the voting results.
Okay.
So moved. Or second. Did you move it and I'm seconding it?
I'm seconding.
You're second.
Okay. Any further comments or discussion on the regular agenda minutes? Okay, can we get a roll call vote on the amendment to the minutes from the regular meeting, please?
Alderperson Denham.
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Stepp.
Yes.
Chairperson O'Day.
Yes.
Commissioner Richards.
Yes.
Commissioner Davis.
Yes.
Commissioner Groman.
Yes?
Commissioner Dieger.
Yes.
And Commissioner Gore.
Yes.
8 votes yea, 0 nay. Motion carried.
Okay, now we'll move on to the Planning Commission bylaws to change the meeting time.
We voted on the amendment, now we gotta vote on it.
Vote You're right, I'm sorry. I'll get it one of these minutes.
You're all right.
It's been a long day. All right, so now we're gonna take a first and a second in regards to the regular meeting minutes as amended.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, first by Commissioner Stack, second by Commissioner Groman. Roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Denham.
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Stepp.
Yes.
Chairperson O'Day.
Yes.
Commissioner Richards.
Yes.
Commissioner Davis.
Abstain.
Commissioner Groman.
Yes.
Commissioner Dieger.
Yes.
Commissioner Gore.
Yes.
7 votes yea, 1 abstain, motion carried.
Thank you. Now, for the third time, I'm trying to pull this off. An amendment to the Planning Commission bylaws to change the meeting time, because this is something that we all vote on. I believe we need a first and a second to bring that on the table for the staff report resolution and the discussion.
So moved. Second.
Okay, first by Commissioner Sepp, second by Alderperson Denham. Now, staff report.
Perfect. Thank you. Good evening. And we'll see if we can get the PowerPoint loaded real quick, and I'll get caught up to y'all. So this evening, we're bringing an amendment change to the bylaws, and basically, we had talked about it in the last meeting, and we're doing one very small change. We're changing from 7 p.m. to 6 p.m., and from this point forward, that's what will be unless it's voted by you all. So what's showing on the board is Resolution P97044, and it's just a quick amendment to it. So when we go to the next page, you'll see a red line version. That's the only change that we made at this time, from 7 to 6 p.m., and we're more aligned with the Board of Aldermen. Staff supports the recommendation that you gave to us to bring that to you. We thank you for the time savings that you're going to bring to staff time, and hopefully this is a little bit more conclusive to your time also. So happy to answer any questions. And
Okay, thanks, Mike. Are there any questions, concerns, or anything from any of the commissioners?
Thank you.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Denham.
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Stepp.
Yes.
Chairperson O'Day.
Yes.
Commissioner Richards.
Yes.
Commissioner Davis.
Yes.
Commissioner Groman.
Yes.
Commissioner Dieger.
Yes.
Commissioner Gore.
Yes.
8 votes yea, 0 nay, motion carried.
All right, great. To start an hour early, starting in July. All right, next item on the agenda is a request for a street vacation for a portion of Damview Road located in Table Rock Townsite Subdivision, Branson, Missouri. Can I get a first and a second to bring this on the table for staff report and further discussion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, first by Commissioner Davis, second by Alderperson Denham. Go ahead, Mike.
good evening. So a little bit of housekeeping of what we were doing before we got started. So our applicant is online and will be able to answer any questions at the end. So they're going to listen, and if they have anything to add or you have any questions of them, they're more than happy to answer. A street vacation application was received from Greg Stocksdale of 448 Sherry Lane, Branson, Missouri, to vacate a portion of the right-of-way of Damview, located in Table Rock Townsite Subdivision. The Table Rock Townsite Subdivision was originally recorded Plat Book 10 at page 10 at Taney County, Missouri. Per Missouri state statutes, the portion of the right-of-way vacated will be equally divided between adjacent properties. However, Missouri Department of Transportation, being the adjacent property, does not claim ownership of the property that lies outside of the right-of-way lines. The specific request is for the city to vacate approximately 0.7 acres, more or less, of public right-of-way. The primary applicant, Greg Stockel, has stated his primary goal of the request is to expand his current lot. So from the pictures as we go through, we can see that he's been maintaining the lot for a long time. So the next picture here is the zoning map, so it's low-density residential. We also included some verbiage here: when any street or alley, public way is vacated, the action by the board in the zoning district, so on and so forth. So we're just showing that we're abiding by 9433. The new maps that we brought you, so we're taking a flying leap all the way out to Table Rock Lake near the dam to 448 Sherry to get your bearings. We're going to swoop in a little bit more. You can see the overfill on the side there, and it's at the very end of that subdivision off of 165, just north of 165. These are the utilities. The utilities kind of come into play quite a bit in this one. So you're going to see water that is not by us and sewer that is by the city of Branson. Current zoning pictures again, and this is the piece that would come in, so low density residential. Existing land use, it's basically vacant land right now. It's just an old roadbed that could have, would have, should have been. So your orthometric views from the north, south, east, and west. Current use is undeveloped. Request is to vacate unimproved roadway, Dam View Drive. Intends to increase the lot size. It fits with the 2030 future use plan. Some of the things that I'd like to highlight here is this has been a long road for him. All the utility comments are in your packets. He has gone through every hoop that is known to man to get to this property. So as you can see, there are 2 right-of-ways that were asked for and granted. We already had one existing, which would be your green sewer line. Then we had a blue line, which is a water line. They also asked for 15 feet. So his net gain there is that red area, but he will gain that. So as he moves forward, staff's going to be more than happy to help him answer questions about what he can build and cannot build and how he can go forward if he chooses to do so. So staff recommends approval. We're happy to answer any questions, and he's online if we can pipe him in if you want to talk to him.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from any of the commissioners in regards to the staff report?
Point of clarification, Mike, you mentioned in your report, I thought I heard you say, excuse me, 0.7 or 0.07?
It's 0.07.
Thank you.
So it's roughly, I actually did the math, so it's a few thousand square feet. So 43,560 times that. So.
Any other questions? Staff report? You said that the applicant is online?
He is, and I believe, there they go.
Okay. You want to tell us just a little bit about your project and a little bit about your annexation, or not annexation, but trying to take that over?
Sure. Thank you for the time this evening, and I appreciate very much the staff effort to date on this. We have been working with our in-laws, and they're 92 and 89 at this point. And they bought the place in 2002 and have been maintaining it and planting flowers and just enjoying their retirement years there. We're still both pre-retirement, and took the place over so we could help them maintain it and still bring them down. They can't drive their cars at this time because they can't. So we're bringing them down, and I asked my father-in-law, what he knew about that roadway, and they've been cutting the grass and kind of keeping it up. And he said, well, he thinks that might belong to the city, and beyond that was MoDOT. So I just started doing some research and thought, well, I'll just make this official if we can, and file and see if we can get it put into the property. That way we'll, I guess, have frontage onto, right now it's just a wonderful view of the woods, and we kind of feel like it might stay that way for a while. So there's real no intended use for it, other than it's part of the yard and the kids play and the grandkids we have down there enjoy it. So that's what the ask is. Pretty simple.
Any of the commissioners have any comments for the applicant? Questions? None? Okay, thank you. Is there any public comments in regards to this item on the agenda? Okay. We were ready for a roll call vote, please.
Okay. Alderperson Denham,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Stepp,
Yes.
Chairperson O'Day,
Yes.
Commissioner Richards,
Yes.
Commissioner Davis,
Yes.
Commissioner Groman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dieger,
Yes.
Commissioner Gore.
Yes.
8 votes yea, 0 nay, motion carried.
Okay, great. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, next item on the agenda. Request for a final subdivision plat for Stone Valley Estates subdivision, Branson Mose, 65616. Need a first and a second to get this brought on the table.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, first by Commissioner Stepp, second by Commissioner Groman. Staff report.
All right, well, it hasn't been very long since we heard this one, so we told you we were running this in parallel, so it's back again. So I'm just gonna hit the highlights. I know not everybody was here last time, so it's a final subdivision plat. The applicant is Greg Richards of LGR Design and Drafting on behalf of Stone Valley Development. It's a planned development out there, number 05007, Branson Hills Development. So now we're to the point of the final subdivision plat for Stone Valley Estate subdivision. We are asking for your approval, but we are still also waiting on bonding for the sewer. So approval with bonding going forward to the Board of Aldermen is what we're asking for this evening. So they're working through that diligently, and we've been on the phone with the insurance agents that write those bonds for us, and we're confident that they're gonna bring it to the table before we bring it to Board of Aldermen, or else we just won't bring it. So again, so here is the overall map. We had some questions about this last time, so I'm gonna take my time to go through this. So Home Depot and Target are up here. The Rexplex is all the way up in your corner there. A little bit closer view, so it's basically the north side of that property. We, again, are showing this, that we are sending it to you guys, and then we're sending it forward to the Board of Aldermen. These are the note cards that go out to all the people that live near there. A little bit about the final plat review and approval. That's included in our staff report if there's any questions about the conditions that are going through there. I'd also like to highlight one more thing. The Parks Commission has not been able to get a quorum just yet. So we are going on month 3, but I was reassured by the director of Parks that it would be approved. She's talked to her people, and so we're also waiting on that. So both of those two items are gonna be what are the trigger points moving forward. It's to no fault of the applicant. It's just basically a board issue of trying to get through the boards. So a little bit more about the final plat approval that's there. Here's the aerial with utilities. So the last time this was a source of a little bit of heartburn on my part and a little bit of lack of oversight, I guess is what it would be. So there was an amended point that would go ahead and bring it in. So if you're looking at parcel 3, it is multifamily, and you see that piece. So this is the actual amendment to the original PD, which shifted the screen down a little bit. We had our GIS guys go ahead and take and overlay this onto ArcGIS to prove that this is truly the intention of the PD. Current zoning of it is a PD. It will remain a PD. There will be no changes to that PD. Existing land use is it's vacant at this time. They're actually still working out there, although weather. This is a picture of the final plat. Very similar to the preliminary plat, except a little bit more verbiage there. There's some signature spots for the mayor, so on and so forth. Orthometric views from the north, south, east, and west. Basically, the give to this is to provide additional housing options. I know they're getting ready to sell those lots or are in process of getting ready to sell those lots once this is approved. It's included in the 2030 plan. Staff recommends approval. We're happy to answer any questions about the way we went about this and running things parallel. Again, I remind you that this is not a typical subdivision. Typical subdivision to get to this point would take 6 to 9 months of build time, probably even longer in this environment that we are today. But the infrastructure was already in place. There's just a little bit of sewer that when the blasting happened needs to be redone. It's been reviewed by the Public Works Director. It's been reviewed by the Utilities Director. The agreements about bonding for the labor that's there, the parts are there, but unfortunately weather doesn't always play in everybody's favor. So we're confident that they're going to take this forward and do a nice job. Happy to answer any questions.
And you said this is contingent upon the bond, correct?
That's correct. The bonding and the Parks Commission accepting their
Right.
open space requirements that we discussed last time, so.
Okay, do we have any type of verbiage or anything in here that states that our approval would be contingent upon that?
It is not. I'd like you to demotion that in. That is that way. We had full confidence that we were going to get it, but because of long weekends and just missed phone calls back and forth, it is a long process for them to write that up and bond out for that, so.
Okay, understood. Any other questions? Commissioner Stepp?
Just a quick question, Mike. I wasn't sure, and I'm pretty sure I didn't see anything, maybe at this point it would be premature regarding stormwater drainage and runoff and making sure that any concerns with, added development isn't going to exacerbate a problem. I can't see the way the elevations go.
Right, so this was an original subdivision that had already had their storm sewers already installed, their streets already installed. For better word or not, the person that was developing walked away before they platted. So they did not plat the north part. So all those calculations and those concerns were taken care of in the first part. So the infrastructure isn't there. The infrastructure that they took care of was explosive dynamites that took out some of the rock ledges there, made them smooth lots that are buildable lots. And why doing that, they had a little bit of sewer interruption that was already in the ground from the previous developer. So they, in a roundabout way, they bought it from another developer and finished the project, or are finishing the project.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the commissioners?
What would be the verbiage we'd add in there to take care of the bonding and the park approval?
I believe that would just be us making a motion to approve the final subdivision plat contingent upon receiving their bond as well as approval from the Parks Board.
I make a motion to that effect. That we amend it.
Well, okay, first and a second there. Do we need to vote on that? I know Commissioner.
So we,
Davis asked-
just
Let
so
me ask my
I help
question.
out, we had a,
Why don't you just hold on a minute?
okay.
Does the park board approval complete your recommendation for a written agreement regarding maintenance of the open space that was dedicated, that was part of your report?
That is correct. So the written agreement to that will have to be recorded at the same time as the plat. So their lawyer has already written that, and that'll be presented forward. So what that is all the final plats are contingent on, once you go to Board of Aldermen and you go to sign, everything is in place, because you can't act on one till there is another, if that makes sense. So we're lining them all up in a row to get there. Does that answer the question? So the
Commissioner
park.
Grover, maybe you can deal with that in your motion in second. Kind of,
Add that in too.
there you go.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
You got the second okay on that?
Second. Okay. First by Commissioner Groman, second by Commissioner Dieger. Let's see. I guess we would go ahead and do a vote on that amendment.
Probably just vote as conditionally.
Well, on that amendment going in, because realistically, we haven't heard from the applicant yet, and we haven't given the public a chance to speak yet.
Right.
So I would say that we go ahead and vote on that amendment, and then after that, we talk to the applicant, and then after that, we have public comment. So-
Sounds good.
Okay,
Voting on the amendment.
correct.
Alderperson Denham? Yes. Vice Chairperson Stepp?
Yes.
Chairperson O'Day?
Yes.
Commissioner Richards?
I have to recuse myself from this vote. Obviously involved in this project.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Groman?
Yes.
Commissioner Dieger?
Yes.
Commissioner Gore?
Yes.
Seven votes yea, one recuse. Motion carried.
All right, thank you. Next, as the applicant here, anything you want to share with us, Commissioner Richards? Okay.
Really, like Mike was saying, I don't really have anything new from when we put it through before. It was a preliminary first. Now it's just going to the final stage.
Okay.
Like Mike was saying, back to the sewer situation, they've been working on it best they can in between the weather we have right now, but they're making good progress, so. And I know that Carl's getting all the bond work and everything together, so.
Greg, what's your time frame to start construction?
Basically, let's see, so this is July 12th, close the 19th. I would say middle of August.
Any other questions from the commissioners, from the applicant? No? Anybody from the public that would like to speak on this topic? None? Okay, let's go ahead and do a roll call vote.
Alderperson Denham? Yes. Vice Chairperson Stepp?
Yes.
Chairperson O'Day?
Yes?
Commissioner Richards, recuse?
Yes, I'm recusing. Mhm.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Groman?
Yes.
Commissioner Dieger?
Yes.
Commissioner Gore?
Yes.
Seven votes yea, one recuse. Motion carried.
All right, thank you. All right, last item on the public hearing portion of the agenda is a request for a zoning change from agricultural A to entertainment ENT for property located at 2200 State Highway 376, Branson, Missouri. Bring this on for the staff report. I will need a first and a second, please.
So moved?
Second.
Okay, first by Commissioner Stepp, second by Commissioner Groman.
Okay, good evening. Jennifer Thompson, Senior Staff
Jennifer.
Planner. I think I've met some of you, but not all of you, so after the meeting maybe. So yeah, I'm here tonight to present an application for the rezone of the recently annexed property located at 2200 State
Jennifer,
Highway.
look, could you pull that closer? Yeah,
Oh,
we're having a
ooh,
tough.
Yeah.
okay, that close?
That's better.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
just have to
No,
speak
it does
up a
sound
little.
better, yeah. But no, I'm here tonight to present an application for a rezone for the property at 2200 State Highway 376, which was just recently annexed into the city, I believe May 24th at the Board of Aldermen. And so the applicant, Todd Chandler of CPWG Engineering, the owner is Cushman Properties. Like mentioned, current zoning is agriculture, and the request is to change it from ag to entertainment, the ENT. Oops. Yeah, so here's some aerials just to kind of give you a feel of where this is located. You see the blue arrow on the left there, and it's off of 376. Here's a little bit closer. You got Steak and Shake to the east there. You know, and the property is a very wooded lot, and it abuts, it's an adjacent to the land that the Cushmans own to the east. So this next image is an aerial with utilities. So you can see that there is sewer and water on the property. So these next couple slides are just going to show the current zoning, which it's actually ag, but this has not been updated, you know, since it just got approved on May 24th. But so to the north and to the east is entertainment. To the south and the west is not in the city boundaries. And this will be the proposed zoning, the entertainment district. And this just shows existing land use. It's, like I said, vacant and wooded. And here's some of those nice images to the north, and a view from the south, from the east and the west. So this is a zoning change, and this is the ordinance language that talks to that. So the comprehensive plan, the 2030 future land use map, it does show the area to the east of here as mixed use, a mixed use designation. And this property does not have a designation because it was outside of the city limits when the 2030 plan went through. So the intent for the property, it's an overall large development, and I believe they already have a building permit in for a ticket booth, and some plans in for, there's a roadway that's already constructed in this location, and then I believe it's going to be for nightly rentals. This is just another map that from GIS that shows the zoning districts currently. So staff recommendation, to me the rezone makes sense from a land use planning perspective. It's under the same ownership as the adjacent property. It's going to be developed along with the property to the east, and it's contiguous with that property. The properties to the north, east, and south already have the ENT zoning in place. And again, the intent is to have nightly rental accommodations, which is an allowed use in ENT zoning district. So with that, staff is recommending approval, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Just a point of clarification, whenever something is annexed into the city, it automatically is annexed in as a zoning of ag, correct?
That's correct.
So this is just a small, just to bring it in line with everything else?
That's correct.
Okay. Okay, any questions from any of the commissioners on this item in regards to the staff report? No? Okay, is the applicant here, or?
We have a representative here with CPWG.
Okay. Would you like to come up, tell us a little bit about the project? And before you, we'll need you to sign in with your name and address, and then state it into the microphone, please.
Yeah, so I'm Adnan Rauf, EIT with CBWG, representing Todd Chandler. He couldn't be here tonight, but I'm here in his place. And essentially, like she just said, the Tanglewood development is going to be 97, I think, nightly rental cabins. So I'm just bringing it in under the same zoning as the surrounding area. That's all we're trying to do.
Any of the commissioners have any questions of the applicant? No? Okay, thank you, appreciate it. Is there anybody from the public that would like to speak in regards to this item? Hearing none. Any further discussion before we go to a vote? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Denham,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Stepp,
Yes.
Chairperson O'Day,
Yes.
Commissioner Richards,
Yes.
Commissioner Davis,
Yes.
Commissioner Groman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dieger,
Yes.
Commissioner Gore,
Yes.
8 votes nay, or 8 votes yea, 0 nay. Motion carried.
All right, thank you. Let's see here. Now we're out of the public hearings. Next thing is reports. Mike?
We have been busy, so we're fixing this up a little bit to give you guys an idea of how we're going to go about this, guys and gals. I apologize. From now on, reports are going to be the section where we report in back to you what happened going forward, so with the Board of Aldermen, so on and so forth, other activities that are going on. So with that being said, I did want to highlight that the planning department did give away a grant to the library for roughly $4,000 for them to take care of some neighborhood beautification. That was successful in going through. They're getting ready to do the project, and they'll come back and accept that grant, and we'll update you with some pictures of some of the work that they did. So that's pretty exciting. We also gave a staff report with ETC, going over some of the business and responses from the individuals in the community. It's a 95% confidence level in there. There was like ±5 and ±6. So it's a solid report for anybody that's been on this commission before. It's a long-going report that we ask some of the same questions and some of the different questions, and you can pick that up online also in our document center if you'd like to dig into that even further. So there's an overall assumption of what's going on, the highlights, the lowlights, some of the things that the city could focus on, and some of the things that the city's doing well. So it was a great report, and super excited. 108 Rock Ridge, the preliminary plat, which we did the final plat this evening, was done by a resolution. It's not an ordinance when it's a preliminary plat, so it's a one read and done. That happened on 5/24. We also had a ordinance for the annexation of 2200 State Highway 376. So right now, we finished that last item, and you're like, well, how did the annexation come in? So annexation comes into your Board of Aldermen. They do a request. We read the request. Then we go ahead and type up a staff report. The staff report is read, and then it sits one more cycle for consensus. So that was successful, and we're super excited to see the progress that they're making out there. And when they're ready to share their grand vision of it, I think you'll be excited to see their grand vision. And I'm telling you, it's pretty spectacular, some of the stuff they're doing out there. Jennifer highlighted a little bit that the roads, and they also built a roundabout out there, are well underway. The sewer and water is already on property for the part they're working on, which is the cabins. They've already turned in their stormwater, doing a master stormwater design system, which is really the right way to develop a piece of property, and we're super happy to do that. So that's some of the background work that some of you all don't see that we do every day, and working through with the different departments, if it's utilities or public works, so on and so forth. So we also had 4017 State Highway 376, if you remember that one. That was Cedar Junction. Cedar Junction wanted to do basically some storage area and put items on pallets back out. So that was approved without a problem. And my favorite project of all, 500 James Epps, went through very well and very smooth. Lots of questions, exciting for the community, exciting to see what those developers do in this community. So we welcome them back, and they're working very hard on other projects. So I hope that we get the opportunity to focus the highlights of City of Branson and expanding some of the offerings that we have for our guests that come and visit us. So with that being said, that's the end of the reports of the past. Future-wise, there's two items that are kicking around. Usually we have the answers for you already of, is this going to go, is it not? There's a possible rezone for animal safari. Basically, the backstory to that property is Animal Safari was annexed in, and when it was annexed in, it was brought in as one thing, and as time went on and we redeveloped some of the mapping and things like that, we got to the point where the zoning looks like it's changed. So we're doing a ton of research before we bring anything forward to how did that happen, how did the letters go out, who was notified, who wasn't. The business owners have approved sets from the past. They have approved occupancy from the past that said they were commercial, but today they are agricultural. So we're working hard with them, and also with Alderman Denham is helping lead some of that forward with us in the campgrounds, and we expect some good results from that. Now, if that will come in front of you, I'm not really sure at this point, because the research is guiding us one way or another. So we'll see how that goes. The last one is 701 Kingsway Drive. They're looking at putting in a 1,500-foot item onto their house, and we're going to try to guide them to see if they want to connect. So that item did come in unknown to staff and just came in through Citizen Serve at the last hour. We are meeting with them tomorrow. So those are the two possible items that are there. So there's a possibility. So there'll be a keep your eyes on your email, and we'll see if we're going to have a meeting or not next month. It's been a pleasure to serve with you guys. As you see, Jennifer's starting to pick up the pace. I'm going to start to take a little bit of a background view in it, but I will still keep up with all the things that are here and be happy to answer any of your questions. So thank you again for your time, and that's the end of our report.
Okay, thank you. Mike? Commissioner Stepp has
He
it.
was
Vice
hoping he
Chair
could get out just
Stepp.
that simply. No, sir.
No, sir.
Mike-
I enjoy talking to you guys. I do. So it's
Just-
been 6 months of fun.
Oh,
So.
I bet it has been. So, well, that's actually what I wanted to thank you for, is stepping into the vacuum here and being able to pick up the baton and run with it. And you've done a really good job. And I cannot imagine the hours that you all have been putting in and filling vacancies and getting staff up to speed to deliver the best possible service to our citizens. So I wanted to thank you for that. The other thing I just had a quick question on is in that survey that you mentioned, were there any parts of the survey that were relating to planning and zoning department? And if so, could you share some of the recommendations or some of the room for improvement perhaps that might have been uncovered?
Some of the room of improvement is probably perspective. There's a little bit of stuff about code. Code could be a little bit better. We believe that we've really worked hard to address some of the issues of how smooth is it. I'm a business owner and I come in here, or I'm a homeowner and I'm lost. And I think putting a brand new person like myself out of my element and putting me into it, I've walked through that a lot. And, maybe I didn't do it with the best grace that I could have done it with, but it highlighted some of the things about the friendliness, the open for business, the, hey, let's help you get to where you want to be. Not change the rules, not bend the rules, but get you to where you want to be. And I'm super excited with the staff that we've put together for you. I mean, we have tons of experience behind there. We have tons of enthusiasm with Nikki. Jennifer has the experience that we could only dream of asking for. So I'm super excited to where this department and the people that are behind it are headed. And some of the highlights other than could we work on planning and do some things a little bit better? Absolutely. There's always room for improvement, and we're glad some of those things got pointed out. Some of the highlights of it is that they're very excited with our friends from the fire department, as Randy, and the police department. Some of the areas of opportunity is something I've highlighted with you guys a couple times, is that your street improvements are lacking. And so, I understand you make budgetary decisions based on coronavirus, so on and so forth, but it's time to spend some money and put down some new asphalt. That is really what my specialty was. So I'm excited to see what the board direction they want to go. Some of the storm sewer issues, I think that we are headed on a good direction here, is saying that, hey, there's somebody looking at your stormwater. There's somebody that's running your calculations in the back. Just because you come this way or you come that way, somebody's making sure. And we are asking for 100-year, and I think under Keith, maybe we'll see some of those improvements come through, that we come from a 25-year retention to a 100-year retention. That's what I'd like to see. And also with the roads, 500 EPS, it was kind of a new thing, is, what do you mean I can't build this if I don't build a road? Well, hey, that's how it is. It was written that way. Build the road. build the road or you got to find something else. And, you know, the contractor and the owner stepped up to the plate, and that's wonderful to see, and that's how you build great communities. So as long as we keep that vision and keep those people asking those questions, and I'm really excited about the different aspects of different disciplines that are all together working hard for the board and for the citizens of Branson. So a long-winded answer I know you didn't ask for, but there it is. So
Thank you again.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, man.
Any other questions?
We're gonna go through commissioner reports.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, we are.
I'll just wait to, that's okay, I'll just, can I just go ahead now and
Yes, by all
combine
means,
them?
please.
Because I just want, a huge thank you to Mike, to Jennifer, to Nikki. They are doing an amazing job in that department. It is so refreshing. It is so easy to work with them. The conversation is so very open, always trying to find great solutions, and that is so appreciated for everyone involved. And Mike brought up something that came out in the report, and that was the roads and needing road improvements, but it's kind of like a catch-22. And sometimes, well, Mike knows and engineering knows, but we also need replacement lines. And so instead of doing the roads twice, you know, sometimes that we just have to wait for that. So they do an excellent job. Thank you so much for what you do for the community.
Any other commissioners have any reports? I only have one thing. I'm going to try not to embarrass her too bad. Ms. Tara Norbeck is leaving the city after almost 15 years of service. She is moving on to future endeavors that give her the ability to do different things and work from home, and we're really excited for her, but really wanted to tell you that I appreciate everything that you've done. You've been a joy to work with over the last few years with all of my projects and being on the commission, and wanted to say thank you for all of that. And her last day with the city, I believe, is June 17th, correct? So thank you for your time and thank you for your service.
I think she should come down here and talk.
Speech. All right. Any of the commissioners have anything else?
Yeah, I have one thing. We've been kind of piecemealing changes to our rules. Is there some way that we can kind of get together and change them all at once? Example, we're supposed to have 12 commissioners. We don't have 12 commissioners. If we're going to say people should follow the rules, we ought to be the example. And why don't we try to rewrite that? And I don't know how to go about it, but maybe have a special study session, or if individual commissioners or public hearing or what. But
So I believe it was about 3 months ago, there was actual discussion, I think it was in the February or March meeting, that we asked, we had a discussion with Mike and at the time, Assistant City Administrator John Manning to review our rules and bring them to us with updated information. With all the changeover that's happened as of late within the city, that's kind of get thrown on the back burner. And I believe Jennifer.
can we move it to the front burner?
That's something that we can definitely discuss. Jennifer, I believe that's something that maybe Mike, were you gonna task her with trying to work on and bring something to us? But I understand and I agree with what you're saying, Gary.
There's a few areas.
There's quite a few areas in there, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a really good question, and yes, it's on the radar. We were thinking maybe July, but it may be August, and so we were gonna maybe have a draft of some sort to bring to you guys, and then to get your input and have open discussion.
I think if we could get, whatever you could do something for July for us to just kind of, get it to us and let us look at it, and we can, have open discussion during that meeting, and then, maybe get a final draft in August would be fantastic. But
Okay.
we know how busy you guys are as well, so just do whatever you can,
Okay,
please.
will do.
Would you be amenable to taking suggestions for input from us while you're developing this thing. It might shorten the process.
Yes, yes,
agreed.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to talk about it right now
Do
or
you-
not, but,
Do you have a copy of?
I got it sitting right in front of you.
Okay, okay.
okay.
Just,
You do too. It's
I,
right-
well, I know, I've got two copies, one there and one here, so just wanted to make sure.
No, I get that.
Yeah, it's your
Okay.
bylaws, so for sure, yes.
Okay, all right, so let's do what we can to try to send any comments or anything at least, I would say at least a week prior to the next meeting, so it gives her an opportunity
Thank you, sir.
to add those in. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Okay, great. Any other comments or questions? Staff reports? No? Okay. Need a motion? Well, unless Mike's
Can I
hurrying up.
spread in there for a second? You didn't get rid of me just yet. So here's a thought. What we can do is we've sent out the bylaws once before. I know I have gotten them into a Word document, so based on the commissioners list and emails we have, we can send it back out to you again, and you could either write some comments or redline it yourself, and then we can compile all those together with the best solutions to save your time there. And if you wanted to abstain from doing it, you just let us know. And I think the realistic aspect of, you know, a couple days for us to turn things around right now is probably not productive for us, or possible, I guess. It's productive, but not possible at this time. So look forward to that in your email, so you do have a copy that's in a Word document, and then each of you could work together or talk together. Or again, we always welcome our doors open on Tuesdays for Open for Business. I'd be more than willing to set it up where you had Jennifer, myself, and Nikki sitting around the table, and anybody that wanted to come in Tuesday afternoon, we could all sit down and say, hey, here's some of the thoughts ahead, and spend 40 minutes and very calculated and move forward. Just some different thoughts for you to talk about since you're in the report section. So
If we were to do that, can you get us an answer from the attorney in regards to what's considered a violation? I know any more than, what, 5 of us together is considered a quorum.
right, so you
So-
would have to stay less than that. So
5 or less.
Right.
And then isn't there something in relation to sunshine law as well?
I would think, since you may be correct, maybe I'm overzealous here, maybe we just go the email route, and that's the best route to go. That puts you individual
Well,
to work on it.
I don't
so.
want to take away the opportunity for everybody to get together, because
Right.
I think it's important that they do that if that's their best way to communicate, but I also want to make sure that we.
We can
stay-
also put it on the agenda as we did last time with, you know, hey, we're asking for a time change, and leave the opportunity to work line by line. That's another option we could go. But I know Gary wants to see action. I know that as Gary was coming on
Am I the
board.
only one- If I'm the only one,
No, you're not.
Absolutely.
You're not. You're
We
not.
agree with you 100%. So, you know, I'm just trying to provide a whole bunch of different options, that why we have everybody seated here, that we can say, hey, this is where we want to go, because you are guiding staff in what you want, so.
that email solution seems pretty good.
Okay.
Send us the copy.
Yep.
Okay.
Give us a date to get it back to you by, and then the onus is on us to get it back to you, and then we can go from there.
Perfect. Well, look forward to that coming in your mailbox tomorrow or the next day, and maybe we'll put a 10-day, 12-day working
Yeah.
period, and that gives us a little bit of time to work it together. So,
Good.
Sounds great.
thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other reports, comments? No? Take a motion and a second to adjourn.
So moved?
Second?
Okay, first by Commissioner Sepp, second by Commissioner Groman. Roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Denham,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Stepp,
Yes.
Chairperson O'Day,
Yes.
Commissioner Richards,
Yes.
Commissioner Davis,
Yes.
Commissioner Groman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dieger,
Yes.
Commissioner Gore.
Yes.
8 votes yea, 0 nay, motion carried at 7:54 PM.